Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'd like to thank you all for your feedback over the last couple weeks. And I thought I'd mix it up a little bit today and we'll do some chair yoga. You know, it's interesting, the first time I did chair yoga, I thought, wow, this is really intense. And I think with so many of us working out of our homes and kind of doing makeshift offices, and in Ohio the weather's still not great, although it's a beautiful day today, to get out every day and walk a little bit and get outside. I thought this might be just a good introductory practice for those of you that need to change it up a little bit. I've noticed, you know, my makeshift office and my computer in the same place. I'm not sitting in an ergonomically correct chair, and notice a lot of tension and tightness. So hopefully during this practice, you can find some things around your home. I've got my tennis ball, which is pretty traditional, that I use with my yoga folks, but I also have my jelly jar here because we can be creative. And with some of the utensils and props that we typically use during our practice. I said utensils, but typically they're props of some sort. And they don't have to be expensive props, but you can find things around the house. I have my strap here today. If you don't have a strap, go ahead, maybe get a bathrobe. A mat. I do find that with chair yoga, a mat I feel is particularly important, only because if you are standing and sitting and using the chair, we don't want it to move around on the carpet or hardwood floor or a tile floor. It might be slick. So please, please be very, very careful as we move around the chair today. So just kind of rolling out our feet, giving our feet some attention. Balance is so important. Maybe rolling those balls on the outside of our feet, and then doing some rotation around our bottle. Maybe I'll even put it up like this and see, maybe, I guess on my right foot looks a little bit better, but rotate that ball, change feet here. And see, just opening up those toes. Many of you know, if you've practiced with me, we pay a lot of attention to our feet. They help us balance. We've got to trust them. And sometimes we don't even trust ourselves, but we put a lot of trust in our legs and our feet to carry us where we need to go each day. So, okay, we'll put those away for now, and we'll kind of move through a nice flow that hopefully your home office you can do in half an hour or so, and give you a good sense of balance, self-constitution, and with our hands on our knees, sitting up in our chair, finding nice tall spine, sacrum, sits bones on the chair, having our legs stacked in a 90-degree angle, and finding our nice tall, we're going to go into some cat and cows, and we'll bend forward, looking down between our feet, and then extending our gaze up, maybe towards the ceiling or the corner where the wall meets the ceiling. And let's go through those movements at your own pace. not necessarily fast, more intentional, very deliberately. And with your breath, exhaling and inhaling. Cow and cat. And as we extend this time, let's take our arms overhead and stretch from side to side, just starting to feel that extension. We're going to take that twist over to the right, putting our arm behind our chair, hand on the knee, taking your gaze, if it's in your practice, over that back shoulder, as if you're taking that gaze. And we'll move it back and forth. I would often say this movement is good for your backing up in the driveway or in the grocery store, but a lot of us have backup cameras these days, and we aren't doing as much driving. So taking that gaze left and right. And then next time you go over to the opposite side, taking your gaze, your hand to knee, and your arm behind the chair, taking a nice stretch to the opposite side. And moving your neck from the left to the right, back and forth. Then we'll go out to neutral, taking our arms out, rotating our wrists, and we'll start to add some circular to our arms, making them bigger and bigger. Nice and big and smaller and smaller. And then we'll go the opposite way. Start with our wrists, and taking our arms, don't forget to breathe. Just making those circular, big circular motions with our arms. And then coming to front again, clasping the hands, pushing through with the clasp, taking that overhead, and nice side bending over. If you can take your gaze to the opposite side that you're bending. Take a look over there. Such a beautiful sunny day. Coming up to center, and then dialing those arms to the opposite side. Taking that gaze to the other side of the room. Nice stretch. Taking those arms back up, and we'll return them to our knees. Taking our feet about chair distance apart, scooting up a little bit more further on your chairs. So about half of your thigh is on the chair. And we're going to press through those shoulders, just pressing through. Again, it doesn't have to be fast, more intentional. Feeling that nice deep stretch. I'm feeling this right here, right there. I feel a nice stretch there. Opening up. One more. And coming to neutral. Okay. If you have a strap, we'll pick that strap up, put it in the right leg. Again, we're sitting up a little bit further, but tall spine, taking that strap in both arms, extending the arms out straight, feeling a nice stretch, and just bending into that leg ever so little, just feeling that stretch through my side, taking that strap in the same arm that you have the leg, opening that leg out to the side. And here, we'll take our opposite arm and take it out, and we'll take our gaze over to that side too. So extending, bringing that pose to more of a neutral, exchanging arms with that strap, taking that gaze out, over for a nice side twist. If you find yourself clenching your jaw, maybe press your tongue towards the top of your teeth. Let it move around. And we'll bring that down to a close, placing the strap around your opposite foot, extending out, folding into that. Nice, gentle stretch, extending the arms, taking the strap in the same arm as foot, extending it out to the side, and taking that gaze over to the opposite side. Couple cleansing breaths, no clenching of the jaw. Bringing it, the leg back to center, exchanging arms, taking that gaze for me out into this beautiful day. Coming back, bringing that leg down. Now bringing both legs up, sitting up, and really engaging those feet. Flexing, feeling all of your muscles, and relax. We'll do this a couple times, bringing the feet up, flexing, flexing, no holding of the breath, and down. And we'll do it one more time. I usually hold anywhere from 5 to 7 counts. So you can count to yourself or you can just follow along. And return. We'll put our strap to the side here. And taking our legs hip distance apart, taking our arms up overhead. We're going to do some forward folds, very controlled, hinging at the waist or hips, I should say, not the waist, but actually folding down. If it doesn't feel comfortable for you to extend your arms out like this, you can touch your shoulders. And this is a nice, deep, controlled as well. Or you can take your arms out to the side. Sometimes I have students in my class that might have a little tinge of something in a shoulder or elbow. So always try to offer modifications. And we'll do this a couple more times. How about 2 more? Feeling our balance. Again, controlled. Not quick, but controlled. Nice. Nice. Putting our arms down. Next, we're going to do some figure 4s. And so in order to have the hip opener, and I want to just caution folks, if you have any knee or hip issues, some of you may have had replacements or surgeries, please be kind if this movement is not in your practice. I'll give you some modifications as well. So taking your ankle over the knee of the opposite foot. If you have a block, you can also place your foot on the block, and this might be more open in your practice and more acceptable. And you can also cross your legs. So we'll do a couple of these forward folds and find which position might fit your practice today, and it might be different than it's been in the past. So be kind to yourself and be open to the movements. And we'll do this 2 more times on this side and switch and move to the other side. If you don't happen to have a block and you want to try the different levels or the different positioning, you might be able to use a laundry detergent box or a Tide Pod box to rest your foot on top of. So be creative. Just because you may not have what you see in the video does not mean we can't find appropriate movements for our body. And we'll do 2 more of these. Nice, very nice. Then we're going to move to a standing position. I find it fairly important to have a mat or something sticky so that your chair does not move around on the floor. I'm going to leave my chair like this for the time being, and then I'll move it around as well. So again, you can see a couple different options. For balance in Tadasana, standing up tall and finding your footing in Tadasana, maybe just rocking a little bit back and forth and finding some nice stability. Really standing up on those toes. Nice. And we're going to go through some sun salutations. Again, you can do one arm at a time, or if you feel like you have the stability today, you can use both arms. So we'll take our arms up overhead to prayer and heart center, forward fold, planting our hands on the chair. You can have both hands on the seat, or if you feel more comfortable having the support of an arm or a hand on the back of the chair, please feel comfortable in doing so. Taking a nice deep stretch, finding your downward dog, maybe walking those toes out, feeling that nice stretch through the shoulders, and taking those steps gently back up towards the chair and finding a forward fold, bending in the knees and taking your arms up overhead, or maybe just one arm at a time, and down to heart center. And I'll use both arms now, and we'll go up into forward fold, stepping back into downward dog, finding a nice downward dog, taking that right leg back, extending it back, gaze down towards the floor at the stationary foot, bringing that other foot down, slowly walking in to the chair, forward fold, bending at the knees, taking your arms up overhead and bringing them down into heart center. Taking them up, forward fold, stepping back into downward dog, taking the opposite leg back, keeping your gaze at the floor, finding your balance. Again, you can always change your positioning, making sure you feel stable. Bringing that leg down, walking back into the chair, forward fold, bending your knees, bringing your hands and arms up overhead to prayer and to heart center. I'm going to turn the chair around just to show you, if you'd like to see it with a chair facing yourselves as well. Maybe please make sure your chair is stable. Taking your arms overhead to prayer, to heart center, forward fold, stepping back into your downward dog, maybe walking those feet a little bit, taking the one leg back, holding it, bringing it down, taking the other leg back, stretching, flexing through that foot and that leg, bringing it down, walking up into that forward fold, bending your legs, taking your arms overhead to prayer and heart center. So just another option for you, depending on your stability. We're going to do some triangle poses here with a little bit of salutation movement, sun salutations in between. We'll do it on both sides. So taking our hands up overhead, forward fold, taking a nice deep forward fold. You might even find that your hands can go down onto a lower rung of the chair with much stability. Bringing it back up, taking one foot in towards the chair, taking a triangle, hinging at the hips, and taking a twist. Nice twist, finding some stability. And if you'd like a little bit of a modification, you can also do a nice side angle here. So depending on where you are today, it's your practice. Coming out of that, placing both hands down for stability, walking those feet in, forward fold, bending up, hands to prayer and heart center. And now we'll take our arms up, placing our hands securely on the chair, coming into a triangle, taking one foot in, the other one back, placing the hand in the center of the chair and twisting to the opposite side. Again, if it's in your practice to hold on, this is a nice alternative. Do not clench your jaw. If you find that you are, take your tongue and push it towards the front of the roof of your mouth. Forward fold, bending at the knees, and slowly coming up. Hands to prayer, heart center. Nice. So some different variations of sun salutations that you can do for your practice. Let's go ahead and take our chair. We'll put it forward here. And this is one of my favorite things to do, not necessarily the students, but some of you will be very familiar with this. We're going to do our invisible chair, taking our arms up overhead, moving back towards the chair, knowing it's behind us with that support. And we're going to gently bend our legs, slowly, as if we're going to sit down on the chair, but we are not going to sit on it. You know that you can take your arms or your hands if you feel as though you need that support. Trust yourself in knowing that that chair is behind you. You can even step back a little bit if you feel comfortable. And we're going to do this a couple times. Let's come up, hands overhead to heart center. Taking the arms up, stepping back, finding that invisible chair. Maybe even picking your toes up off the floor, bringing your hands to heart center, and then slowly coming up. Ah, nice. Okay, so you know what's coming now. Taking your arms up overhead, feeling the chair, knowing that the support is behind you as we come down as if we're sitting. This time we can take our arms back, find it, and sit down in that chair very, very slowly. Very slowly. Nice. Taking our arms wide, up overhead, to prayer, to heart center. We'll do a couple final twists here, taking our elbow to the knee, taking our gaze to the opposite side of the room. If you'd like a little bit of a deeper twist, you can take your elbow to the opposite knee. So either one, this is your practice. You might be in a different place than you were a month or two ago. Coming out of that twist. Nice cleansing breath. Taking that elbow to knee or elbow to opposite knee, finding that nice forward fold twist, taking the gaze out the window. Looks like the sun has gone away for the day, or maybe just behind some clouds. Taking the twist up, arms up overhead to prayer and heart center. Now, maybe sitting back in our chair, finding our feet yielding to Mother Earth, our thighs yielding to the chair, our sits bones feeling the support of the chair and nestled in with the back of the chair, our shoulder blades, scanning our body, either with our hands in prayer or resting on our thighs. Finding that calmness and serenity, the kindness and compassion that you so deserve. Quieting your mind, keeping it still and focused, and coming back to the breath. Maybe moving your toes a little bit, moving your fingers, taking your arms out, extending them wide, encompassing all the kindness and compassion and empathy and helpfulness, all the goodness in the world, bringing your hands down to heart center. Be patient, be kind. Namaste.